Namaskar, good afternoon. Welcome to New Businesses interview. Today we have Asmâa Resmouki. She is the president of IFAC, that is International Federation of Accountants. Welcome to the show, ma'am.
Thank you.
How are you?
Good, good.
First of all, welcome to Nepal.
Thank you very much.
Could you elaborate on the primary objectives of your current Nepal visit?
Yeah. Well, thank you for this opportunity, for this interview to discuss a few things. As the president of IFAC, which is the International Federation of Accountants, it is really an honor for me and a pleasure and a responsibility to do outreach and to visit our member bodies when I can. And IFAC being the global organization for the accountancy profession, which covers more than 180 members around the world in 135 jurisdictions. So ICAN, the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nepal, is one of our member bodies.
Right.
So it is my pleasure and my honor to visit, especially with the occasion of the organizing the third convention for the accountancy profession here, where I was invited to be a keynote speaker.
Okay.
And besides that, while in the country, I take the opportunity to organize meetings with other stakeholders of the profession. To also take time to discuss different topics with the Institute from a global perspective. So what I would bring is the global perspective of some of the common topics. And also it is an opportunity for me and for IFAC to understand better and to discuss the opportunities and challenges of the profession.
Right.
Locally. So that is the main purpose of my visit.
Can I ask you who are your stakeholders whom you met or you are meeting during your Nepal visit?
I have started meetings already. So my first meeting was with the council members of the Institute. I also had a meeting with the governor of Central Bank yesterday. Today I'm supposed to have other meetings with the World Bank team here. And also hopefully with the newly appointed Auditor General.
Yes.
So I'm waiting. I'm looking forward to that.
What are the issues that you said you are discussing among the council members and others?
Oh, it was various topics, various questions about what's happening globally in the profession, the collaboration opportunities between ICAN and IFAC, how we can support each other further, etc. So these kind of topics.
Head of IFAC, what do you see as the most issues facing accounting profession globally today? There
are a few trends and a few topics that are top of mind globally and also locally. And what is interesting to note is that all these topics that we juggle with at the global level are also topics of priority locally. So and I get to see that when I visit different countries, how the topics are very similar. So one of the topics is, of course, sustainability, what we call ESG, which is a topic that has attracted a lot of attention at the global level, and IFAC has been a strong advocate from the start, because of the issues we face regarding climate change, and not only climate change, other environmental issues, social issues, etc. The need to discuss and to find more sustainable ways to tackle these topics is becoming more and more urgent. So that is one key topic. The other topic is education, because of all these changes that we see in our environment, all these emerging topics like sustainability, ESG, digital technologies, AI, etc. It is becoming more and more urgent for the accountancy profession to make sure that the professional accountants are upskilled, reskilled, are trained properly to be able to take the challenges and opportunities that come with these topics. And a lot of collaboration needs to happen at local level, for example, between the professional accounting organization and the education institutions, business schools, universities, etc. Another topic would be public sector, which is one of the areas where I know your institute here is working very hard on. And because we have a responsibility as the accounting profession to support public financial management for better, for more transparency, better accountability, etc. We also need to make sure that the professional accountants are also educated and trained and prepared to be able to tackle the challenges of the public sector. Then we have other topics that we have started seeing since, especially since COVID, which are the link to the attractiveness of the profession and how to make sure that our profession remains attractive to the young generation, and bring that sense of purpose that the young generation is looking for.
As you said, sustainability and environmental responsibility are also increasingly important factors in business. So how does IFAC advocates for integrating these consideration into accounting practice worldwide?
Yeah, well, IFAC has played a big role and is still playing a big role because this is a continuing topic. We're not done yet. We're only at the starting
advocacy level
blocks.
Yeah.
So from the word go, IFAC has been a strong advocate for the issuance of sustainability standards. And as we know, 2 years ago there was the ISSB was put in place, the International Sustainability Standards Board, and last year they managed in a record time to issue the first sustainability standards on general disclosures and on climate disclosures. So IFAC is very happy and continues to support and emphasize the importance of adoption and implementation at the local level of these standards, because it's not enough to have global standards. You need to make sure that they are adopted and implemented locally. So there is a lot of work that still needs to happen in terms of advocacy and preparation. The other thing, because one of IFAC's strategic objectives is to support the development, adoption, and implementation of high quality international standards. So now there is a lot of work that is happening in the assurance area,
right,
to be able to assurance standards, because we need high quality assurance standards to make sure the trust is there on the whatever disclosures and reporting will happen. So IFAC is also supporting that, and ethics standards. That's another key also component of the support that IFAC is giving to the what we call ISBA, which is the International Ethics Standards Board, which is also in the process of has already issued a draft of ethics standards, and because the specificity for these standards, be it assurance standards or ethics standards, is that they are going to be profession agnostic, meaning they are supposed to be implemented by not only professional accountants but also other service providers and consultants. So IFAC will keep advocating as well for a level playing field to make sure that everybody is subject to the same high quality standards, and to make sure also that there is proper regulation behind, etc.
Right.
One other piece of work that IFAC is involved in is also education. We have like a committee that we call International Panel, Education Panel, which also is in the process of preparing whatever material is necessary in terms of revising education standards, so that professional accountants, professional accounting organizations can have enough material to upskill and educate their members.
Actually, in many areas, like you said, insurance or maybe banking or other, don't you think there are different standards? I mean, in developed countries, they have already created certain standards. They are still not followed in developing countries like Nepal. Don't you think like that?
IFAC, through its members, has as a role to support the adoption and implementation of high quality international standards. So one of the requirements from our members is to do their best to implement these international standards, and be it in accounting, private sector, public sector, IFRS, IPSAS, be it audit standards, ISAs, be it ethics standards, education standards, etc.
What are the primary obstacles and challenges encountered in promoting sustainability reporting globally?
Obviously, this is not going to be an easy topic. It's there are a few challenges. One of them is embracing the philosophy that sustainability starts inside of companies. So we need to make sure that the professional accountants in business understand sustainability, are properly trained, etc., and that there is a connection between the financial reporting and sustainability reporting, because we need to avoid that risk of having like silos within companies that work separately. So hence the importance of promoting what we call integrated mindset, to be able to integrate and connect all this information. The other challenge is making sure that the standards I spoke about are adopted locally and implemented. The other challenge is having also high quality international standards for assurance. And we believe in IFAC that the only way also to make sustainability a success is to ensure that there is mandatory assurance, and hence the importance of having high quality assurance and ethics standards. And the last challenge is capacity building, so which means preparing organizations, preparing professional accounting organizations, professional accountants, be it professional accountants in business or in practice, those who will prepare the reporting and those who will assure the reporting or help in the preparation of the reporting. We need to make sure that they are skilled enough to work in this area.
How do you envision the role of technology such as AI and blockchain, you also mentioned, shaping the future of accounting practices, and what opportunities and challenges does this present?
Well, AI and technology services in general are also an important challenge and opportunity that we need to take into account. If you remember previously, there was like at least within the accountancy profession this big debate about and concern that AI is going to replace accountants, etc., etc. And I think we are at that stage where we are all reassured that AI will not replace accountants. AI will probably replace accountants who don't use AI. So I think that is
very interesting.
The conclusion we're all coming to and we're all happy with. And what that means is that we need again to prepare our mindsets, upskill ourselves to integrate these technologies in our work. And these technologies, the impact of AI and digital technologies is more about a better integration between technology, processes and people that will define new careers and new ways of doing things. It means replacing simple tasks that don't need really human intervention by AI, but so that we can have more time to do tasks which require more analysis, more critical thinking, etc. And the good news is that we do have foundational skills in this. That is our job, in terms of critical thinking, in terms of strategic advice, etc. Those are the skills we need to develop further to be able to integrate these technologies. And here again, collaboration with universities, with educational institutions is going to be very key to update the education curricula to make sure that they do integrate these new topics.
You also mentioned about the ethical issues, that ethical considerations are very important in the accounting profession. So how does IFAC work to uphold ethical standards and integrity within the global accounting community?
Ethics is really the backbone of our profession, and we are proud to say, because of our public interest mandate, that what distinguishes us as a profession is that code of ethics that we all must comply with. And hence the trust that is bestowed upon us. which we all know takes years to gain and can be lost in seconds. So we have to be very careful, and IFAC is very much also a big advocate behind this. As I said earlier, we support the development, the adoption and implementation of high quality ethics standards. So the Board of Ethics ISPA, which issues ethics standard, we support the standards that they issue. We ensure through our member bodies that those standards are adopted and implemented. So that is very important. We ensure also in key areas like emerging areas like sustainability, etc., that ethics are also there. The standards are there to make sure that they are properly adopted and implemented. So without ethics, our profession is nothing, basically.
Right. That's very important. But in many parts of the world, especially in least developed or developing countries, ethics has still, not very important subject.
Yeah, well, it is a very important subject. It is high priority for the accountancy profession.
Right.
And the proof of that is that we do have an international code of ethics that we all must comply with.
Does IFAC try to find some unethical practices and warn its members? Are there anything like that? Any examples or anything?
That's IFAC is not a regulator, so that's not our role. But through our member bodies, we ensure that they do adopt and implement the ethics standards. That is our responsibility.
Many countries have established regulators regarding whistleblower protection. So, yet Nepal lacks such provisions. How does IFAC addresses this issue?
Very important issue. It's linked to ethics. It's linked to a big program we are also involved in, which is anti-corruption policies and procedures that we also advocate and incite our members to have a work program regarding this. And whistleblowers, as we know, are very important participants who will speak up about topics regarding ethics, regarding corruption, governance, whatever. So they are important to listen to. They need to be protected from retaliation. So we do encourage our member bodies to make sure that there is proper legislation to protect them, because if they're not protected, they will not speak up and they will not be encouraged to speak up, because we know the consequences that whistleblowing can have on the actors. So we encourage that. The other thing as well that we have as a profession, and this is through our code of ethics, we have a section called No-CLAR, which is non-compliance with laws and regulations, where we have specific standards as well. I mean, ISBA has issued specific standards, and we need to comply with that as professional accountants. Specific standards on how to comply and to signal these issues internally when we see them within the organization, etc., etc. So that is also another proof that we are also doing our part of the work through our ethics program and through our ethics code, and also having a special focus on whistleblowing, which is a key component of the ecosystem that we need to have behind anti-corruption programs.
Looking ahead, what are your predictions for the future of the accounting profession, and how will it evolve in the next decade, and what should professionals do to prepare about it?
Well, the future is amazing and bright. There are a lot of opportunities. There are a lot of trends. I spoke about sustainability, all the opportunities that it is bringing for us to have a better impact on the world, on the countries we live in, the economies we live in. So we see that with a very positive eye. The integration of digital technologies, of AI, is also something we look forward to, that is challenging, that will make our profession even more attractive. And the good news also about this profession is that because we don't work in silos, we work within an environment and a context that brings change all the time, and there are always new things happening. So it pushes us to be very agile, more flexible, to adapt to all these changes that are happening around us, and which make our profession more and more important, more and more key to contribute to the development of our nations and economies.
While we talk about sustainability, we mentioned ethical practices, standards, different kind of standards in accounting profession. Anything else would you like to highlight besides these issues?
For sustainability, really the key component is going to be education.
Okay.
Is going to be upskilling, and there are a lot of players in the field. There are a lot of subject matter experts, so it's also about, and this is something we already do as professional accountants, work with subject matter experts. So this is another area where we're going to have to work more and more with subject matter experts, because we're not experts in climate or other specific topics, but if we have to play our role in reporting and in assurance, we need to also better work and with subject matter experts on these fields.
Lastly, I want to ask you, since you have already met some of the stakeholders in Nepal, governor and some other, what is your impression? I mean, how serious are they to implement all these standards? Where are we, Nepal, in all these issues?
Well, I was very impressed with the meeting I had yesterday with the governor of Central Bank, and how seriously they are taking, I think this year, the implementation of IFRS 9, which is one of the complex IFRS standards. So that is something that is happening. Also very impressed about the spirit of collaboration that is starting to happen, and I'm sure you'll see a lot of great developments in Nepal between public sector and ICANN, in terms of making sure that professional accountants in Nepal contribute more and more and better to the public sector, because their skills are really needed in the public sector.
Yeah, but the problem is still they are not, welcomed in the public services. How to do that? Because they have been trying, but
but I think hearing the ICANN council members, there is a lot of work that is happening, and I hope the fruits will come out soon.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for your time, for everything that you mentioned. It's really informative, useful, interesting to our audiences and readers.
Thank you for having me.